In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, few corporations are as powerful or as influential as Arasaka. The company is one of the largest megacorporations on Earth, operating in dozens of countries and controlling vast networks of financial institutions, security forces, and technological research divisions. In Night City, the name Arasaka carries a reputation that is both respected and feared. Many citizens see the corporation as a symbol of corporate strength and discipline, while others view it as a dangerous organization willing to do anything to maintain control. Arasaka began in Japan during the early 20th century. The company was founded by Sasai Arasaka, but it was his son, Saburo Arasaka, who transformed the business into a global megacorporation. Saburo was a veteran of the Imperial Japanese Navy during the Second World War, and his experiences in the military influenced the way he approached corporate leadership. After the war, Saburo gradually expanded the company's operations beyond simple manufacturing and into financial services and private security. This combination proved extremely profitable. As global instability increased throughout the late 20th and early 21st centuries, corporations and wealthy individuals needed reliable security. Governments were losing control over many regions, and private military forces became increasingly common. Arasaka capitalized on this environment by offering highly trained corporate soldiers and advanced protection services. These security forces quickly gained a reputation for professionalism and effectiveness. Arasaka security teams protected corporate offices, guarded shipments of valuable technology, and escorted executives through dangerous areas of the world. Over time, this division became one of the corporation's most recognizable assets. The image of Arasaka soldiers in sleek, tactical gear eventually became a familiar sight in cities across the globe. At the same time, the company expanded its financial services division. Arasaka banks became some of the most secure financial institutions in the world. Corporations, governments, and wealthy individuals trusted the company to store digital assets, corporate records, and sensitive information. Security and finance together created an extremely powerful combination. By protecting both money and people, Arasaka established itself as a corporation that could not easily be replaced. Its influence spread steadily into new markets and industries, eventually turning the company into a megacorporation with global reach. One of the most recognizable symbols of Arasaka's influence is Arasaka Tower in Night City. The tower stands in the city center district and serves as one of the corporation's most important headquarters. With its massive height and sleek design, the building dominates the skyline of the city. The tower represents more than just an office building. It serves as a symbol of Arasaka's authority and presence within Night City. Corporate executives, security divisions, and research teams all operate from within the tower's upper floors. Beneath the surface, heavily secured areas contain sensitive data centers and advanced laboratories. However, Arasaka Tower also holds an important place in the history of the cyberpunk world. During the Fourth Corporate War, the building became the site of a devastating attack that changed the city forever. The Fourth Corporate War was a massive conflict between megacorporations, primarily Arasaka and Militech. These corporations functioned almost like independent nations, complete with armies, intelligence agencies, and advanced weapon systems. The conflict escalated until it reached Night City itself. During the war, a nuclear device was detonated inside Arasaka Tower. The explosion destroyed much of the building and caused massive destruction in the surrounding areas. Entire districts were damaged, and thousands of lives were lost. The crater, left behind by the explosion, became one of the most famous landmarks in Night City for many years. Despite the destruction, Arasaka did not disappear. The corporation slowly rebuilt its strength and eventually returned to Night City. A new Arasaka Tower was constructed, once again dominating the skyline. This rebuilding process reinforced the idea that megacorporations in the cyberpunk world are extremely difficult to destroy. Another major component of Arasaka's power lies in its private military forces. These soldiers are among the most well-equipped and technologically advanced security teams in existence. Many Arasaka operatives receive cybernetic enhancements that improve their reflexes, strength, and perception. Cyberware allows them to react faster, aim more accurately, and survive dangerous combat situations. This heavy reliance on cybernetic augmentation reflects the broader culture of the cyberpunk universe, where technology and the human body are often merged together. Arasaka soldiers frequently carry smart weapons that can communicate directly with their neural implants, allowing them to lock onto targets with extreme precision. The company also invests heavily in surveillance and intelligence systems. Drones, cameras, and digital monitoring networks allow Arasaka to observe large areas of the city and gather information about potential threats. Information is one of the corporation's most valuable resources. By monitoring communications, financial transactions, and physical movement throughout Night City, Arasaka can maintain control over situations long before they become dangerous. The leadership of Arasaka remains closely tied to the Arasaka family itself. Saburo Arasaka ruled the corporation for decades, guiding its growth and maintaining strict discipline within the organization. His leadership style was heavily influenced by traditional Japanese values of loyalty, honor, and hierarchy. Employees within the corporation are expected to follow these principles closely. Loyalty to the company is considered one of the most important qualities an employee can possess. Saburo's children eventually became involved in corporate leadership as well. Yorinobu Arasaka and Hanako Arasaka represent different visions for the company's future. Yorinobu often challenges the traditional structure established by his father, believing that the corporation must evolve in order to survive in a changing world. Hanako, on the other hand, tends to support the preservation of the family's authority and the continuation of Arasaka's existing systems. These internal disagreements occasionally create tension within the company's leadership. One of the most controversial technologies associated with Arasaka is the Soul Killer program. This advanced software can copy a person's consciousness and convert it into a digital form known as an engram. An engram is essentially a complete digital representation of a human mind. Once stored in this form, the consciousness can be preserved indefinitely within specialized hardware. This technology raises complex philosophical questions about identity and mortality. If a person's mind can exist in digital form, it becomes possible to preserve them long after their physical body has died. Arasaka explored this idea through the development of the Relic chip, a prototype device capable of storing engrams and transferring them into living hosts. The Relic represents one of the most advanced pieces of technology ever created by the corporation. Its existence demonstrates how far Arasaka is willing to push the boundaries of science in pursuit of power. Life within the Arasaka corporate structure is very different from life on the streets of Night City. High-ranking executives live in luxurious apartments, travel in armored vehicles, and enjoy access to the corporation's most advanced technologies. Lower-level employees often live in corporate housing and spend most of their time working within Arasaka facilities. In exchange for loyalty and dedication, the company provides stability and protection. For many people living in the chaotic world of cyberpunk, this stability can be extremely appealing. However, others see Arasaka as a symbol of corporate domination. The corporation's immense power allows it to influence politics, control information, and shape the future of entire cities. Within the neon-lit streets of Night City, Arasaka stands as one of the clearest examples of how megacorporations have replaced governments as the most powerful forces in the world. Its soldiers patrol corporate territory, its towers dominate the skyline, and its technology continues pushing humanity toward an uncertain future shaped by the ambitions of the corporations that now control the planet. In the corporate world of Cyberpunk 2077, Militech stands as one of the largest and most powerful megacorporations in existence. While Arasaka is often associated with corporate security and financial dominance, Militech is widely known for its massive military power and its close relationship with the government of the new United States of America, often referred to as the NUSA. In many ways, Militech operates as both a corporation and a global military contractor, producing weapons, vehicles, cyberware, and entire armies of trained soldiers. Militech's origins trace back to the early 21st century, during a period when global conflicts and corporate rivalries were rapidly increasing. The corporation was originally founded in the United States as a defense contractor that specialized in manufacturing advanced military technology. As national governments began relying more heavily on private companies for defense infrastructure, Militech expanded quickly by securing lucrative contracts with both governments and private security organizations. This steady expansion allowed the company to grow into one of the most influential megacorporations in the world. Militech's primary business revolves around weapons manufacturing and military equipment. The company produces a wide range of products, including assault rifles, smart weapons, armored vehicles, drones, cybernetic combat implants, and heavy military hardware. Many of the weapons used by soldiers and mercenaries throughout Night City are manufactured by Militech or based on designs originally developed by the corporation. Because of this specialization, Militech has developed a reputation as one of the most technologically advanced weapons manufacturers in the cyberpunk universe. Their research divisions continuously experiment with new forms of military hardware designed to give soldiers an advantage on the battlefield. This includes advanced targeting systems, neural-linked weapons that communicate with a soldier's cyberware, and combat armor designed to withstand heavy firepower. Another important aspect of Militech's operations is its private military forces. The corporation maintains large armies of highly trained soldiers who can be deployed anywhere in the world. These troops are equipped with some of the most advanced gear available, including cybernetic implants that enhance their strength, reflexes, and sensory perception. Many Militech soldiers undergo rigorous training programs that combine traditional military tactics with modern cybernetic augmentation. These enhancements allow soldiers to react faster than ordinary humans and operate advanced weapon systems with extreme precision. In combat situations, Militech troops are known for their discipline and coordination, often working in highly organized tactical units. Because of their efficiency, Militech forces are frequently hired by corporations and governments that require large-scale security operations. Militech's close relationship with the NUSA government plays a major role in the corporation's influence. In the cyberpunk world, the boundaries between corporate power and government authority are often blurred. Governments frequently rely on megacorporations to supply military equipment and manage security operations. Militech has become one of the most trusted partners of the NUSA in this regard. Through long-term defense contracts, the corporation supplies weapons, armored vehicles, and training programs for government military forces. This partnership allows Militech to operate with a level of authority that few other corporations possess. In some situations, Militech troops function almost like an extension of the national military. This relationship also gives the corporation access to government resources and strategic intelligence, further strengthening its position in global politics. One of the defining rivalries in the cyberpunk universe is the long-standing conflict between Militech and Arasaka. These two megacorporations represent opposing power centers in the global corporate landscape. While Arasaka originated in Japan and built its influence through security services and finance, Militech developed as an American military powerhouse. Over time, competition between the two corporations escalated into open warfare. This conflict eventually became known as the Fourth Corporate War. Unlike traditional wars fought between nations, corporate wars involve private armies, corporate espionage, sabotage, and advanced technological weapons. During the Fourth Corporate War, both Militech and Arasaka deployed massive resources in an attempt to gain dominance over global markets. Battles took place across multiple regions of the world, involving not only soldiers, but also cyber warfare operations designed to disrupt communication networks and financial systems. Night City eventually became one of the central locations of this conflict. The war reached its most devastating moment when a nuclear device detonated within Arasaka Tower. The explosion destroyed much of the building and caused widespread destruction in the surrounding districts. Although the exact responsibility for the detonation remains controversial within the lore of cyberpunk, the event effectively ended the Fourth Corporate War. After the war, Militech emerged as one of the dominant corporate powers in North America. The company continued expanding its weapons production and military research divisions while maintaining its partnership with the NUSA government. This alliance allowed Militech to strengthen its political influence as well as its economic position. Militech also invests heavily in cyberware development. Cybernetic implants are essential for modern combat in the cyberpunk world, and Militech produces a wide variety of military-grade cyberware designed specifically for soldiers. These implants can enhance muscle strength, improve reaction times, and provide advanced targeting assistance during combat. Some cyberware systems are designed to interface directly with smart weapons, allowing soldiers to control their firearms through neural signals rather than physical triggers. This integration between human biology and technology represents one of the most significant advancements in modern warfare within the cyberpunk setting. Militech's research laboratories constantly develop new technologies aimed at improving battlefield efficiency. In addition to weapons and cyberware, the corporation manufactures armored vehicles and aircraft designed for military operations. These vehicles often include advanced defense systems, reinforced armor plating, and onboard computer systems capable of coordinating with command networks. Many corporate security teams and mercenary groups rely on Militech vehicles when conducting operations in dangerous regions. The corporation's influence also extends beyond traditional warfare. Militech provides security consulting services for corporations that need protection against espionage, sabotage, or hostile takeovers. These consulting divisions analyze threats, design security infrastructure, and train corporate personnel in defensive tactics. Because of the dangerous environment of the cyberpunk world, such services are often in high demand. Corporate executives frequently rely on Militech expertise to safeguard valuable assets and information. Despite its reputation as a weapons manufacturer, Militech maintains a highly structured corporate culture. Employees working within the corporation are expected to follow strict guidelines regarding loyalty, professionalism, and operational secrecy. High-ranking executives often live within secure corporate compounds where their personal security is managed by the corporation's own military forces. Within these environments, corporate loyalty becomes an important aspect of daily life. Workers who demonstrate dedication to the company can receive promotions, enhanced cyberware, and access to exclusive corporate benefits. However, failure to meet corporate expectations can result in termination of employment or loss of corporate protection. This intense environment reflects the competitive nature of megacorporations in the cyberpunk universe. Militech's influence continues shaping the balance of power across the world. Through its massive military capabilities, advanced research divisions, and close ties to government institutions, the corporation remains one of the most formidable forces operating within Night City and beyond. While other corporations may specialize in finance, biotechnology, or digital infrastructure, Militech represents the raw military strength that often determines which corporations survive and which ones fall. In the neon-lit streets and towering skyscrapers of Night City, the presence of Militech serves as a reminder that in the world of cyberpunk, corporate power is often measured not only by wealth or technology, but by the strength of the armies standing behind it. In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, Kangtao is one of the most technologically advanced megacorporations operating on the global stage. While corporations like Arasaka and Militech dominate discussions about military power and corporate warfare, Kangtao has quietly built its reputation through precision engineering, advanced electronics, and cutting-edge smart weapon systems. The corporation originates from China and has grown into a massive international company specializing in security, technology, drones, artificial intelligence, and intelligent firearms. Unlike some megacorporations that expanded primarily through military conquest or financial dominance, Kangtao's growth was driven largely by technological innovation. The company focused heavily on developing weapons that could integrate directly with cybernetic implants and digital targeting systems. These smart weapons quickly became some of the most advanced firearms available anywhere in the cyberpunk world. Smart weapons operate differently from traditional firearms. Instead of relying solely on a person's aim, these weapons communicate directly with a user's cyberware and targeting systems. Once connected, the firearm can adjust its trajectory in real time, allowing bullets to curve slightly in mid-air to track targets. This technology gives soldiers and mercenaries a significant advantage during combat, especially in chaotic urban environments where targets may be partially hidden behind cover. Kangtao invested enormous resources into refining this technology. By focusing on precision electronics and integrated software, the corporation developed smart weapons that are widely considered among the most reliable in existence. Many mercenaries, corporate security teams, and private contractors rely on Kangtao firearms because of their accuracy and advanced targeting capabilities. Another important area of Kangtao's expertise involves aerial vehicles. The corporation manufactures a wide variety of advanced aircraft designed for corporate transportation and military operations. These vehicles include AVs, which are heavily armored flying transports used by corporations to move personnel safely through crowded cities. AVs are a common sight in Night City's skyline. Corporate executives often travel between skyscrapers using these vehicles, allowing them to avoid the dangerous streets below. Kangtao's aircraft are known for their stability, advanced navigation systems, and powerful defensive equipment. In addition to passenger transports, the company produces combat drones designed for reconnaissance and security operations. These drones are capable of monitoring large areas, scanning for threats, and relaying information back to corporate control centers. Many of these machines operate using sophisticated artificial intelligence systems. This allows them to track targets automatically and respond quickly to potential threats. In high-security environments, Kangtao drones often patrol corporate facilities and industrial complexes, acting as an additional layer of protection. The corporation's research divisions play a major role in its continued success. Kangtao invests heavily in laboratories dedicated to developing new electronic components, cybernetic interfaces, and automated security systems. These laboratories frequently experiment with technologies that combine artificial intelligence with physical weapon platforms. This approach allows the company to create highly integrated defense systems. For example, some Kangtao weapons are capable of communicating with nearby drones or security networks. When used by trained operatives, these systems can coordinate attacks, track multiple targets simultaneously, and share battlefield data between soldiers in real time. These capabilities make Kangtao technology particularly valuable for corporate security teams. The corporation's influence extends far beyond simple weapons manufacturing. Kangtao also produces communication equipment, surveillance technology, and advanced navigation systems used in both civilian and military vehicles. Because of this wide range of products, the company plays an important role in global technology infrastructure. Many cities rely on Kangtao communication hardware to maintain digital networks and security systems. This dependence gives the corporation considerable economic and political leverage. In Night City, Kangtao operates several corporate offices and logistical centers that coordinate regional operations. While the corporation does not dominate the city to the same extent as Arasaka or Militech, it maintains a steady presence through partnerships with other corporations and private security firms. These partnerships allow Kangtao to distribute its technology throughout the region without needing to control large sections of the city directly. Corporate security teams frequently purchase Kangtao equipment because of its reliability and advanced features. Another factor contributing to Kangtao's success is its corporate philosophy. The company emphasizes efficiency, precision, and technical excellence. Engineers and scientists working for Kangtao are encouraged to focus on refining existing technologies rather than pursuing risky, experimental projects. This approach has allowed the corporation to build a reputation for dependable products. While some megacorporations gamble on radical innovations, Kangtao often prioritizes practical improvements that can be quickly integrated into real-world systems. Employees working within the corporation often follow strict technical training programs. Engineers must understand both software design and mechanical engineering in order to contribute effectively to Kangtao projects. This technical culture shapes the company's internal structure. Rather than emphasizing military hierarchy or family leadership, Kangtao focuses heavily on research teams and engineering departments. Many of the corporation's most important decisions are guided by technical specialists who oversee development projects. Despite its reputation for precision engineering, Kangtao is still involved in corporate rivalries and espionage. Like all megacorporations in the cyberpunk world, the company must constantly protect its research from competitors. Corporate espionage is a common threat. Rival companies frequently attempt to steal technological designs or disrupt manufacturing facilities. In response, Kangtao maintains its own security forces, equipped with advanced surveillance systems and smart weaponry. These security teams are trained specifically to defend research laboratories and corporate infrastructure. Another important aspect of Kangtao's operations involves supply chains. The production of advanced electronics requires access to rare materials, microprocessors, and high-performance manufacturing equipment. To maintain this supply, the corporation operates factories and research facilities in multiple regions around the world. These facilities manufacture the components needed to build Kangtao weapons and aircraft. Maintaining control over these supply chains is essential for the corporation's continued growth. Any disruption could delay production and give competitors an opportunity to gain market share. Because of this, Kangtao carefully monitors its logistics networks and transportation systems. The corporation's aircraft division often assists in transporting sensitive components between facilities. This level of coordination ensures that Kangtao technology can be produced efficiently even in the complex environment of global corporate competition. Within the broader cyberpunk universe, Kangtao represents a slightly different kind of megacorporation compared to companies like Arasaka and Militech. While those corporations often rely on massive armies and political influence, Kangtao focuses primarily on technological superiority. Its power comes from precision engineering and advanced electronics rather than sheer military strength. Yet this technological advantage still allows the company to compete effectively with larger rivals. In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, where cyberware and smart weapons are becoming increasingly common, Kangtao's expertise places it at the center of many important technological developments. The corporation's devices shape how soldiers fight, how corporations defend their facilities, and how individuals interact with the advanced technology surrounding them. In the neon-lit skyline of Night City, Kangtao may not always command the same attention as some of its larger competitors. However, its influence can be found quietly embedded within the weapons, drones, and communication systems that define modern life in the cyberpunk world. Few corporations shape the natural environment as dramatically as Biotechnica. While some megacorporations dominate through weapons, finance, or security, Biotechnica built its influence through biotechnology, genetic engineering, and agricultural science. The company focuses on manipulating living organisms, creating engineered plants and animals designed to serve industrial and commercial purposes. Through these efforts, Biotechnica has become one of the most powerful corporations controlling food production and biological research. Biotechnica was originally founded as a biotechnology research company focused on agricultural innovation. During the early years of its development, global food shortages were becoming an increasingly serious issue. Environmental damage, overpopulation, and climate instability made traditional farming methods less reliable. As these problems intensified, the demand for advanced agricultural solutions grew rapidly. Biotechnica stepped into this situation by offering genetically engineered crops designed to survive harsh environmental conditions. Their scientists developed plants that could grow in poor soil, resist disease, and produce higher yields than conventional crops. These innovations allowed the company to secure contracts with governments and corporations seeking stable food supplies. Over time, Biotechnica's influence expanded far beyond simple farming. The corporation began experimenting with large-scale genetic modification programs. Using advanced bioengineering techniques, Biotechnica researchers could alter the DNA of plants to produce specific chemical compounds or industrial materials. Some crops were engineered to grow faster, while others were designed to produce valuable proteins or fuel components. This level of control over biological processes gave Biotechnica enormous economic power. Large agricultural zones were converted into corporate-controlled biofarms where genetically modified crops were cultivated under tightly monitored conditions. These facilities often stretched across vast regions of land, forming enormous fields managed by automated farming equipment and monitored by corporate drones. Unlike traditional farms, these biofarms functioned more like industrial production sites. Every stage of the growing process was carefully controlled to maximize efficiency. Soil composition, irrigation systems, and climate conditions were adjusted using advanced monitoring technology. In many cases, entire ecosystems were engineered to support specific crops. This allowed Biotechnica to produce food and biological materials at an unprecedented scale. One of the company's most controversial areas of research involves genetic experimentation on animals. Biotechnica laboratories have developed modified livestock species designed to produce meat, pharmaceuticals, and specialized biological materials. Some of these animals grow faster than natural species, while others are engineered to resist disease or environmental stress. These experiments are often conducted in heavily secured research facilities. Corporate security forces guard many of these laboratories to prevent unauthorized access. Rival corporations frequently attempt to steal Biotechnica research data, making espionage a constant concern. Because genetic engineering technology can be extremely valuable, protecting research assets is one of the company's highest priorities. Biotechnica also plays an important role in the development of synthetic food products. In the crowded urban environments of the cyberpunk setting, traditional agriculture alone cannot support massive populations. Cities like Night City require enormous quantities of food to sustain their residents. Biotechnica provides many of the solutions that make this possible. Using laboratory-grown proteins and genetically engineered crops, the company produces a wide range of synthetic food products designed for mass consumption. These foods are often processed into compact, nutrient-dense forms that can be distributed efficiently throughout urban areas. While some people prefer traditional food sources, synthetic products have become a common part of everyday life. Another major aspect of Biotechnica's research focuses on environmental restoration. Industrial pollution and climate damage have severely affected many regions of the planet. Some ecosystems have been permanently altered by decades of corporate expansion and resource extraction. Biotechnica researchers attempt to repair these environments through bioengineering. Specialized plants are sometimes introduced to contaminated areas in order to absorb toxins from the soil or stabilize damaged ecosystems. These projects are often funded by governments or corporations seeking to restore land damaged by industrial activity. However, environmental restoration programs can also create new controversies. Introducing genetically modified organisms into natural ecosystems carries significant risks. Some engineered species may spread beyond their intended areas or interact unpredictably with local wildlife. In the cyberpunk universe, these concerns are frequently overshadowed by the economic value of Biotechnica's technologies. The corporation's internal culture revolves around scientific research and biological innovation. Unlike companies dominated by military structures or financial executives, Biotechnica relies heavily on scientists and genetic engineers to guide its operations. Research teams within the company are responsible for designing new organisms and improving existing bioengineering techniques. These scientists often work in highly specialized laboratories, equipped with advanced genetic sequencing equipment and automated cultivation chambers. Within these facilities, researchers can modify DNA structures, test experimental organisms, and analyze biological data in controlled environments. The corporate hierarchy within Biotechnica still follows the typical structure of a megacorporation, with executives overseeing global strategy and research directors managing individual projects. However, scientific expertise often plays a greater role in decision-making than in many other corporations. Because innovation is central to the company's success, researchers are given considerable influence over technological development. Biotechnica's products extend beyond agriculture and food production. The company also produces biological compounds used in pharmaceuticals and medical research. Certain genetically engineered organisms can produce proteins used in advanced medical treatments. These compounds are often extracted and processed in specialized facilities before being distributed to hospitals and clinics. This medical research division contributes to the company's reputation as one of the most scientifically advanced corporations in the world. Despite its focus on biology rather than weaponry, Biotechnica still maintains strong security operations. Biofarms, laboratories, and research facilities must be protected from sabotage or theft. Rival corporations frequently attempt to infiltrate these sites in hopes of acquiring valuable genetic research. To prevent this, Biotechnica employs security teams trained to guard sensitive areas. Surveillance systems monitor activity around research compounds, while automated drones patrol large agricultural zones. In remote areas where biofarms are located, security forces often serve as the first line of defense against trespassers. Biotechnica's influence reaches far beyond the laboratories where its experiments take place. By controlling large portions of the global food supply and biological research infrastructure, the corporation shapes the future of agriculture and environmental science. Many communities depend on Biotechnica technologies to maintain stable food production. In densely populated cities, synthetic food products developed by the company help sustain millions of residents. Through its work in biotechnology, Biotechnica has become one of the corporations most closely connected to the biological future of humanity. While other megacorporations focus on machines, weapons, or digital systems, Biotechnica concentrates on the manipulation of life itself. Its scientists reshape plants, animals, and ecosystems in ways that would have been unimaginable in earlier centuries. Across vast biofarms and sterile laboratory environments, the corporation continues exploring new possibilities in genetic engineering, quietly influencing the biological foundations of the cyberpunk world. Long before many megacorporations established their dominance over global markets, one company helped shape the very city that would become one of the most famous locations in the cyberpunk universe. Night Corp is not always the loudest or most visible corporation operating in Night City, but its influence is deeply embedded in the foundations of the city itself. While other megacorporations focus on weapons manufacturing, cyberware, or global finance, Night Corp's legacy is tied closely to the planning, development, and infrastructure of Night City. Night Corp was closely connected to the vision of Richard Knight, the man responsible for designing the original concept of Night City. Richard Knight was an urban planner who believed that a new kind of city could be built on the west coast of the United States. His goal was to create a place where commerce, industry, and modern technology could operate freely without the limitations imposed by traditional government systems. The city he envisioned would function as a massive corporate hub where businesses could thrive and international trade could flow without interruption. This concept eventually became the foundation for what would later become Night City. Night Corp played a major role in transforming that vision into reality. The corporation was heavily involved in the planning and construction of the city's infrastructure, including transportation systems, financial districts, and corporate development zones. Many of the early architectural plans for Night City were influenced by Night Corp engineers and planners who helped shape the layout of the urban environment. As the city expanded, Night Corp continued to manage many of the systems that kept it functioning. Unlike other megacorporations that focused primarily on external markets, Night Corp maintained a strong connection to the city itself. Its operations were deeply integrated into municipal services, construction projects, and long-term development planning. In many ways, the corporation became one of the quiet architects of Night City's growth. One of the most interesting aspects of Night Corp's influence involves the city's infrastructure systems. Large-scale urban environments require complex networks to manage transportation, power distribution, communications, and public services. Night Corp played a significant role in designing many of these systems. Subway networks, road layouts, and district zoning plans were often developed through corporate planning initiatives supported by Night Corp. These projects required cooperation with other corporations, as well as local authorities, creating a complicated web of partnerships that shaped the city's development. Over time, Night Corp expanded its influence beyond urban planning and infrastructure management. The corporation began investing in financial services, corporate consulting, and research projects focused on improving city operations. These efforts allowed Night Corp to maintain its relevance, even as other megacorporations entered the city with competing interests. While corporations like Arasaka and Militech built their reputations through military strength and corporate security, Night Corp focused on shaping the environment in which those corporations operated. One area where Night Corp has attracted particular attention is its research into behavioral science and urban social systems. Some rumors within Night City suggest that the corporation has conducted experiments involving psychological conditioning and behavioral influence. These rumors often revolve around a mysterious technology, sometimes referred to as the Night Corp mind control conspiracy. According to various conspiracy theories circulating among netrunners and underground investigators, Night Corp may have experimented with techniques designed to subtly influence human behavior. These theories claim that certain technologies could potentially modify thought patterns or emotional responses in individuals. However, there is little verified evidence confirming these claims. Most information about these experiments comes from scattered reports and unofficial investigations conducted by individuals attempting to uncover hidden corporate secrets. Whether these rumors are true or simply urban legends remains unclear. Night Corp itself rarely addresses such allegations publicly. Instead, the corporation maintains a relatively quiet corporate profile compared to many other megacorporations. This subtle approach may actually contribute to the company's ability to operate effectively within Night City's complex political landscape. While louder corporations attract attention through aggressive business tactics or military operations, Night Corp tends to operate behind the scenes. This allows the company to influence major infrastructure projects without becoming the center of public controversy. Another important part of Night Corp's operations involves property development. As Night City grew into a massive urban center Filled with towering skyscrapers and sprawling residential districts, the demand for land and construction projects increased dramatically. Knight Corp participated in many of these developments, helping design commercial complexes, corporate office buildings, and residential towers. These projects helped shape the physical appearance of the city's skyline. Many of the buildings in Night City were constructed through partnerships between Knight Corp and other corporate investors. Because of this involvement, the company maintains long-term financial interests in many areas of the city. Knight Corp also works closely with city administrators responsible for managing public infrastructure. Although Night City operates under a complicated mix of corporate and governmental authority, certain administrative systems still exist to coordinate transportation, maintenance, and emergency services. Knight Corp's experience with large-scale infrastructure planning makes it a valuable partner for these operations. Corporate engineers and planners often assist with maintenance of key systems that keep the city functioning. Power distribution networks, automated traffic systems, and communication grids require constant monitoring to remain operational in such a densely populated urban environment. Knight Corp technicians frequently collaborate with other corporations responsible for technology development in order to maintain these systems. Despite its relatively low public profile, Knight Corp remains an extremely important player within Night City's economic structure. The company's influence is not always visible through military forces or flashy corporate towers. Instead, its power lies in controlling the systems that allow the city itself to operate. Urban planning, infrastructure management, and large-scale development projects may not attract the same attention as corporate warfare or advanced cyberware technologies. However, these systems form the foundation upon which all other corporate activities depend. Without reliable infrastructure, even the most powerful megacorporations would struggle to maintain their operations. Because of this, Knight Corp occupies a unique position within the cyberpunk corporate ecosystem. Rather than competing directly with corporations focused on weapons manufacturing or biotechnology, Knight Corp operates as a structural backbone supporting the city's growth. Its engineers design transportation routes, its planners coordinate development zones, and its financial divisions invest in projects that shape the city's future. The result is a corporation whose influence can be found almost everywhere within Night City, even when its name is not immediately visible. Beneath the towering skyscrapers, neon-lit streets, and bustling corporate districts lies a carefully planned urban structure that continues to evolve as the city expands. Knight Corp remains one of the companies responsible for guiding that evolution, quietly shaping the environment where the other megacorporations compete for power. Through infrastructure, development, and long-term planning, the corporation maintains a lasting presence within the foundation of Night City itself. In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, energy is one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Cities require enormous amounts of power to operate their infrastructure. Vehicles depend on advanced fuels to function, and megacorporations compete constantly for control over energy production. Among the companies responsible for fueling this high-tech world, Petrochem stands out as one of the most influential energy corporations in existence. The company specializes in fuel production, chemical engineering, and large-scale industrial manufacturing that supports transportation systems across the globe. Petrochem began as a traditional energy company that focused primarily on petroleum extraction and oil refining. In the early years of the cyberpunk timeline, fossil fuels still powered much of the world's infrastructure. However, environmental damage, global conflicts, and economic instability gradually changed the way energy was produced and distributed. As oil reserves became harder to access and traditional energy markets became unstable, Petrochem began investing heavily in alternative fuel technologies. This decision would eventually transform the company into one of the most powerful corporations in the cyberpunk world. One of Petrochem's most important technological achievements was the development of Chu-2 fuel. This synthetic alcohol-based fuel was created using genetically engineered crops rather than traditional petroleum sources. Instead of drilling deep underground for crude oil, Petrochem could grow specially designed plants that produce the chemical compounds necessary for fuel production. These crops could then be processed into Chu-2, which became a widely used fuel for vehicles and industrial machinery. The invention of Chu-2 fundamentally changed the global energy market. Countries and corporations that had previously relied on oil imports now began transitioning towards synthetic fuels produced through agricultural processes. This shift allowed Petrochem to control both the farming and refining stages of fuel production. Because the corporation owned massive agricultural facilities and chemical processing plants, it quickly became one of the dominant energy suppliers in the world. Large regions of farmland were converted into Chu-2 crop production zones. These areas were often tightly controlled by corporate security forces to protect the valuable resources being cultivated there. Petrochem's influence expanded across entire continents as governments and corporations relied on its fuel supply to power their transportation networks. In addition to fuel production, Petrochem operates extensive industrial facilities dedicated to chemical manufacturing. These factories produce a wide range of products, including industrial solvents, plastics, and synthetic materials used in construction and electronics. The chemical engineering division of the company plays a crucial role in maintaining modern infrastructure. Many everyday objects found in Night City rely on Petrochem materials in some form. From building insulation to vehicle components, the corporation's products are integrated into countless aspects of daily life. Petrochem also maintains a powerful corporate security division. Because the company controls valuable energy resources and agricultural land, it must constantly defend its facilities from theft, sabotage, and corporate espionage. Rival corporations sometimes attempt to disrupt Petrochem's operations in order to gain control of the lucrative fuel market. To prevent this, Petrochem employs heavily armed security personnel trained to protect industrial complexes and transportation routes. These security forces patrol refinery sites, chemical processing plants, and agricultural facilities where Chu-2 crops are grown. Many of these locations are located far outside major cities, making them vulnerable to raids from mercenary groups or rival corporate agents. In the harsh environment of the cyberpunk world, protecting energy infrastructure is essential for maintaining corporate dominance. The corporation's influence extends beyond energy production into transportation systems as well. Many vehicles in the cyberpunk universe are designed to run specifically on Chu-2 fuel. This includes everything from civilian automobiles to large industrial transport trucks. By controlling the primary fuel source for these vehicles, Petrochem holds a significant amount of economic leverage over transportation networks. Freight companies, logistics providers, and city transit systems all depend on Petrochem's fuel supply to keep their operations running smoothly. Another area where Petrochem has invested heavily is large-scale environmental engineering. The corporation has developed advanced agricultural technologies that allow it to grow CHOOH, 2 crops in difficult environments. Using genetically modified plants and controlled farming systems, Petrochem can produce fuel crops, even in regions where traditional agriculture would struggle. These innovations allow the corporation to expand its operations into deserts and previously unusable land. However, the environmental impact of these operations is often controversial. Massive agricultural projects sometimes displace local communities or alter ecosystems in ways that are difficult to reverse. In the cyberpunk world, corporate profit frequently takes priority over environmental protection. Petrochem's leadership structure follows the typical model used by many megacorporations. High-ranking executives oversee global operations, while regional managers coordinate specific industrial projects. Engineers, chemists, and agricultural scientists form the backbone of the company's research divisions. These specialists continuously develop new chemical processes designed to improve fuel efficiency and increase crop production. The corporation's laboratories focus heavily on genetic engineering. By modifying plant DNA, researchers can create crops that produce higher concentrations of fuel compounds while requiring fewer resources to grow. This research helps Petrochem maintain its competitive advantage over rival energy companies. In addition to its technological achievements, Petrochem has also become involved in corporate rivalries that shape the broader cyberpunk world. Energy production is an extremely lucrative industry, and other megacorporations occasionally attempt to challenge Petrochem's control over the market. Corporate espionage operations sometimes target Petrochem facilities in hopes of stealing fuel production data or disrupting supply chains. Because of these threats, Petrochem facilities often operate under strict security protocols. Access to certain laboratories and refineries is limited to authorized personnel only. Surveillance systems monitor activity across the company's industrial complexes, and security teams regularly patrol key infrastructure. This defensive posture reflects the constant tension between megacorporations competing for resources. Within Night City, Petrochem maintains several offices that coordinate regional operations. While the corporation does not dominate the city in the same way as Arasaka or Militech, its influence can still be felt through the fuel supply that powers the city's transportation systems. Every vehicle traveling along the highways and streets depends on energy produced by corporations like Petrochem. Without these fuel networks, the entire economic structure of Night City would begin to collapse. Petrochem represents a different kind of megacorporate power compared to companies focused primarily on military strength or financial control. Its dominance comes from controlling one of the most fundamental resources required by modern civilization. Energy keeps vehicles moving, factories operating, and cities functioning. By managing the production and distribution of that energy, Petrochem holds a quiet but extremely important position within the cyberpunk world. While other megacorporations attract attention through dramatic conflicts and powerful armies, Petrochem's influence often works behind the scenes. Its refineries process fuel that powers the world's vehicles. Its laboratories design chemical processes that shape industrial production, and its agricultural facilities grow the crops that sustain the global energy supply. Within the sprawling neon landscapes of Night City and the vast industrial regions beyond it, Petrochem continues operating as one of the essential forces that keeps the technological world of Cyberpunk 2077 running. Some corporations shape the world through military strength, others through financial influence, and some through the quiet spread of technology that becomes woven into everyday life. Zetitech belongs to this final category. The corporation is known primarily for producing advanced electronics, cyberware components, and specialized technological systems used by other corporations, security forces, and everyday consumers. While it may not command armies like Militech or dominate financial markets like Arasaka, Zetitech has established itself as an essential technology supplier within the complex corporate ecosystem of Night City. Zetitech began as a high-tech manufacturing company specializing in electronics and digital hardware. During the early years of its development, the world was rapidly transitioning into an era where nearly every device relied on advanced computing systems, communication networks, cybernetic implants, vehicles, and automated infrastructure, all required reliable processors and data systems to function properly. Recognizing this growing demand, Zetitech focused its research on creating compact and efficient electronic components. These components eventually became widely used in cyberware implants, security systems, and industrial control networks. By supplying essential hardware to other corporations, Zetitech positioned itself as a key contributor to the expanding technological infrastructure of the cyberpunk world. One of the company's most important areas of development involves cybernetic interface technology. In the cyberpunk setting, cyberware implants allow humans to connect directly with machines and digital systems. Neural interfaces transmit information between the brain and external devices, enabling users to control computers, weapons, and vehicles through thought alone. Zetitech engineers developed many of the processors and communication modules that allow these connections to operate smoothly. The company's hardware is frequently installed inside cyberware systems manufactured by other corporations. Although the implants themselves may carry different brand names, the internal electronics often rely on Zetitech components to manage data transmission and signal processing. This widespread integration gives the corporation a quiet but powerful influence over modern cybernetic technology. Another major branch of Zetitech's operations focuses on communications infrastructure. Modern cities rely heavily on vast digital networks to manage everything from financial transactions to automated transportation systems. These networks require large amounts of specialized hardware to maintain stability and prevent system failures. Zetitech produces routers, data processors, and network security modules designed to keep these systems functioning efficiently. Many corporate offices throughout Night City operate on networks built with Zetitech hardware. This allows the company to maintain a steady presence within the digital architecture of the city, even if its corporate towers are not as visually prominent as those belonging to larger megacorporations. Because communication networks are essential for corporate operations, Zetitech's technology plays an important supporting role in maintaining the flow of information across the city. Zetitech has also developed a reputation for producing reliable cyberware components. In a society where cybernetic augmentation is extremely common, maintaining stable connections between biological systems and electronic devices is critical. Faulty implants can cause serious medical complications or system failures that disrupt neural communication. To address these risks, Zetitech invests heavily in research focused on improving the durability and efficiency of cybernetic hardware. Their engineers work on signal processors capable of handling large volumes of neural data while minimizing latency between the user and connected devices. These improvements allow cyberware users to operate equipment with faster response times and greater accuracy. For individuals who rely heavily on cybernetic enhancements, these performance differences can be extremely important. The corporation also manufactures specialized computing systems used by corporate security divisions and automated infrastructure networks. Security systems monitoring corporate facilities often rely on powerful processors capable of analyzing surveillance data in real time. Zetitech hardware helps manage these systems by processing video feeds, tracking movement patterns, and detecting anomalies within monitored areas. In addition to security applications, the company produces electronic systems used in transportation networks. Automated traffic control systems, vehicle navigation platforms, and logistics management software all require reliable hardware to operate efficiently. Zetitech processors frequently appear in these systems because of their ability to handle complex calculations while maintaining stable performance under heavy workloads. This involvement in transportation technology allows the corporation to participate in maintaining the infrastructure that supports large urban environments. Another area where Zetitech contributes significantly is artificial intelligence hardware. While the development of AI software is handled by many different corporations, the hardware required to run these programs must be extremely powerful and reliable. AI systems often process enormous amounts of data simultaneously, requiring advanced computing platforms to function properly. Zetitech produces specialized processors designed specifically for AI applications. These processors allow AI systems to analyze data patterns, manage automated facilities, and coordinate complex operations such as drone networks or industrial manufacturing processes. By supplying the hardware necessary for AI development, Zetitech indirectly influences many technological systems operating throughout the cyberpunk world. Despite its importance within the technology sector, Zetitech maintains a relatively low public profile compared to other megacorporations. Its headquarters and research facilities exist within Night City and other global technology hubs, but the corporation rarely dominates headlines with dramatic corporate conflicts. Instead, Zetitech focuses on maintaining stable partnerships with larger corporations that rely on its hardware. Companies like Arasaka, Militech, and Kangtao often purchase electronic components from Zetitech to incorporate into their own products. This business model allows Zetitech to remain profitable without needing to compete directly in areas such as private military forces or global finance. The corporation's research divisions are staffed by engineers, computer scientists, and electronics specialists who focus on improving processor performance and developing new communication technologies. Many of these researchers work in laboratories filled with testing equipment used to simulate the extreme conditions that cyberware components must endure. Because cybernetic implants operate inside the human body, their internal electronics must remain stable under constantly changing conditions. Temperature fluctuations, biological interference, and continuous neural activity all place demands on the hardware controlling these systems. Zetitech engineers design components capable of handling these challenges without compromising performance. This attention to detail has helped the company build a reputation for reliability within the cyberware industry. Although Zetitech avoids many of the large-scale conflicts associated with megacorporate warfare, it still faces competition from other technology companies attempting to enter the electronics market. Corporate espionage remains a constant threat. Research facilities containing advanced processor designs are valuable targets for rival corporations hoping to gain access to new technologies. To protect these assets, Zetitech employs security teams responsible for guarding laboratories and manufacturing plants. Surveillance systems monitor activity inside research facilities, and strict access protocols limit who can enter sensitive areas where experimental hardware is developed. These precautions help protect the corporation's intellectual property from being stolen or copied by competitors. Zetitech represents a different kind of power within the cyberpunk corporate landscape. While it may not command armies or dominate city skylines, its influence is embedded within the technology that powers everyday life. Cyberware implants, communication networks, AI systems, and automated infrastructure often rely on electronic components designed by Zetitech engineers. Through these systems, the corporation quietly supports the technological foundation of the cyberpunk world. Its processors move data through the city's networks, its components operate inside cybernetic implants, and its hardware powers machines that shape the future of human interaction with technology. In a world where digital systems control nearly every aspect of modern civilization, companies like Zetitech ensure that those systems continue running smoothly, quietly reinforcing the technological backbone of Night City and the global corporate economy. For many people living in Night City, working for a megacorporation represents one of the most stable career paths available. The streets outside corporate offices are often unpredictable, filled with gangs, mercenaries, and economic uncertainty. Inside the walls of a megacorporation, however, life follows a very different rhythm. Corporate employees operate within structured environments where schedules, responsibilities, and opportunities for advancement are carefully organized. Corporate employment in the cyberpunk world is often referred to simply as being a corpo. This term describes individuals whose careers are closely tied to the internal hierarchy of a megacorporation. These workers may hold positions in finance, technology development, administration, or corporate security. While their daily duties vary depending on their role, most corporate employees share a similar lifestyle shaped by the demands and benefits of corporate culture. One of the defining features of corporate life is structure. Megacorporations operate using clearly defined chains of command, similar in some ways to military organizations. Executives oversee major departments, managers coordinate teams, and lower-level employees carry out specialized tasks assigned to them. This hierarchical structure ensures that decisions flow smoothly from leadership to the rest of the organization. Employees are expected to follow corporate procedures carefully and maintain loyalty to their company. In return, corporations often provide benefits that are difficult to obtain elsewhere in the city. Many employees receive stable housing within corporate-controlled residential complexes. These buildings are usually located near corporate offices and are equipped with security systems designed to keep residents safe from outside threats. Living in corporate housing offers a sense of stability rarely found in other parts of Night City. Residents can walk through guarded entrances, use clean transportation systems, and access services maintained by the corporation itself. Grocery stores, gyms, and entertainment facilities are sometimes included within these complexes to ensure employees have everything they need close to home. For workers who have spent time in the more chaotic districts of the city, these environments can feel remarkably comfortable. Another important aspect of corporate employment involves financial stability. Megacorporations typically pay salaries that allow employees to live comfortably within corporate zones. In addition to wages, workers may receive access to health services, cyberware discounts, and other benefits tied directly to the corporation. These benefits often create a strong sense of dependence on the company. Employees who remain loyal and perform well may be rewarded with promotions and expanded responsibilities. Higher-ranking positions offer larger salaries, better living accommodations, and greater influence within the corporate hierarchy. However, the pursuit of advancement within a megacorporation can also be highly competitive. Corporate environments are often filled with ambitious individuals seeking to climb the ranks. Employees compete for recognition, promotions, and access to exclusive projects. This competition can create tension among coworkers, as success often depends on outperforming others within the same department. In some cases, corporate politics become just as important as professional skill. Employees must navigate complex social dynamics while maintaining strong relationships with supervisors and colleagues. A well-timed recommendation from a manager or executive can significantly accelerate a career within the corporate structure. Because of this, networking and reputation play a major role in long-term success. Training and education are also central to corporate life. Megacorporations invest heavily in training programs designed to develop skilled employees capable of handling specialized tasks. Engineers, analysts, security officers, and researchers all undergo extensive instruction before taking on their roles. Some corporations even sponsor advanced education for promising employees. Workers who demonstrate exceptional ability may be offered opportunities to study in specialized programs funded by the company. These programs help employees develop expertise in fields such as engineering, cybersecurity, biotechnology, or financial management. In exchange, employees are expected to continue working for the corporation after completing their training. This arrangement strengthens the bond between the company and its workforce. Technology plays a major role in corporate workplaces. Offices are filled with advanced computing systems, holographic displays, and neural interface terminals that allow employees to interact directly with digital data. These tools enable workers to manage enormous amounts of information efficiently. For example, financial analysts may monitor global markets through interactive data streams projected across large displays. Engineers might use simulation software to test new designs before manufacturing begins. Security personnel rely on digital monitoring systems that track activity across corporate facilities. In many cases, employees also use cybernetic implants to improve their productivity. Neural interfaces allow workers to connect directly to corporate networks, enabling faster communication and data processing. While these implants can increase efficiency, they also raise concerns about privacy and corporate control. Some employees worry that constant connectivity may allow corporations to monitor their thoughts or activities more closely than traditional workplaces would permit. Corporate security is another important part of daily life. Megacorporations invest heavily in protecting their employees and facilities from outside threats. Security teams patrol office buildings, monitor surveillance systems, and control access points to prevent unauthorized entry. Visitors must often pass through multiple checkpoints before entering sensitive areas. Employees are required to carry identification devices that grant them access to specific sections of corporate buildings. These systems ensure that only authorized personnel can reach certain departments or laboratories. While these security measures provide protection, they also reinforce the controlled nature of corporate environments. Life inside a megacorporation often feels carefully managed. Schedules are organized, responsibilities are clearly defined, and corporate policies guide many aspects of employee behavior. For some workers, this level of organization provides comfort and stability. For others, it can feel restrictive. The contrast between corporate life and the rest of Night City is striking. Outside corporate districts, the city is filled with neon-lit streets, bustling markets, and unpredictable encounters. Mercenaries negotiate contracts in bars, street vendors sell food and technology, and gangs patrol neighborhoods with little regard for corporate authority. Inside corporate offices, however, everything operates according to carefully planned systems. Meetings follow structured agendas, projects move through organized development stages, and employees follow schedules designed to maximize productivity. Despite the benefits offered by corporate employment, loyalty to a megacorporation often comes with significant expectations. Workers are expected to prioritize corporate interests above personal concerns. Confidential information must be protected at all costs, and employees may be required to sign contracts limiting their ability to work for competing companies. Breaking corporate rules can have serious consequences. Employees who violate corporate policies may lose their positions, their housing, and their access to corporate services. In extreme cases, individuals who betray corporate secrets may face legal action or retaliation from corporate security teams. Because of this, maintaining loyalty becomes essential for anyone hoping to build a long-term career within a megacorporation. Despite these pressures, many people still aspire to corporate employment. The promise of stability, financial security, and technological advancement can be extremely appealing in a city where many individuals struggle to survive. For those who succeed within the corporate hierarchy, life can offer comfort and prestige unavailable elsewhere. Corporate executives often live in luxurious apartments, travel in armored vehicles, and attend exclusive events where influential figures discuss the future of industry and technology. For them, corporate life represents the pinnacle of success in the cyberpunk world. Across the towering skyscrapers and corporate plazas of Night City, thousands of employees begin their workdays inside offices filled with glowing screens and digital data streams. Their work helps shape the technology, infrastructure, and economic systems that define modern civilization. Within these carefully controlled environments, corporate workers carry out the daily operations that keep the megacorporate world moving forward. Among the many defining events that shaped the cyberpunk world, the corporate wars stand out as some of the most destructive conflicts in modern history. Unlike traditional wars fought between nations, these battles were fought primarily between megacorporations, competing for control over resources, markets, and political influence. Over time, corporations grew powerful enough to operate their own armies, control advanced weapons systems, and conduct global military operations. As a result, disputes between companies could escalate into conflicts that affected entire regions of the world. The corporate wars did not occur as a single event, but rather as a series of conflicts that unfolded across several decades. Each war reflected the growing power of megacorporations and the declining authority of traditional governments. As corporations expanded their economic influence, they also developed private military forces capable of protecting their interests through direct combat. The first corporate war began as a dispute between two rival corporations over control of international shipping routes. At the time, ocean transport remained one of the most important methods for moving goods across the globe. Corporations that controlled shipping networks could influence global trade and generate enormous profits. When tensions between competing companies escalated, their private security forces began engaging in increasingly aggressive confrontations. Initially, these confrontations involved sabotage and economic pressure rather than open warfare. Ships were intercepted, shipping contracts were disrupted, and corporate agents attempted to weaken rival companies through financial manipulation. However, as both sides expanded their security divisions, these conflicts eventually turned violent. Private military units began attacking shipping vessels and ports belonging to rival corporations. As these incidents increased, governments attempted to intervene. Unfortunately, the corporations involved possessed resources comparable to national militaries. Their security forces were equipped with advanced weapons, armored vehicles, and sophisticated communication systems. This imbalance made it difficult for governments to fully control the situation. The conflict gradually spread across international waters and coastal regions as corporations deployed additional forces to defend their trade routes. While the First Corporate War eventually ended through negotiations, it demonstrated how dangerous corporate conflicts could become when private armies were involved. Several years later, the Second Corporate War erupted under similar circumstances. This time, disputes over digital communication networks and satellite infrastructure played a major role in escalating tensions. As global communication systems became increasingly important for commerce and security, corporations competed aggressively to control these networks. Satellite systems capable of transmitting vast amounts of data became valuable strategic assets. Corporations attempted to disrupt rival networks through cyber attacks and sabotage operations. These actions sometimes resulted in the destruction of orbital satellites or the disabling of communication infrastructure on Earth. Because many governments relied on these systems for their own communications, the disruptions caused widespread instability. The Second Corporate War expanded the scale of corporate conflict beyond traditional battlefields. Cyber warfare became an essential component of military strategy, with corporations deploying teams of netrunners to infiltrate rival systems and disrupt operations. These digital battles often occurred simultaneously, with physical combat carried out by private security forces. The use of advanced technology during the Second Corporate War further blurred the line between corporate competition and full-scale military conflict. Perhaps the most famous and devastating of these conflicts was the Fourth Corporate War. This war involved two of the most powerful corporations in existence, Arasaka and Militech. Both companies had enormous resources at their disposal, including private armies equipped with cutting-edge cyberware and advanced weaponry. Their rivalry had been building for years through economic competition and covert operations. Eventually, tensions reached a breaking point that triggered open warfare. The Fourth Corporate War spread across multiple regions of the world, affecting cities, industrial facilities, and transportation networks. Both corporations deployed military units to attack strategic targets belonging to their rival. These attacks included sabotage of manufacturing plants, destruction of corporate headquarters, and attempts to disrupt supply chains. Night City became one of the central locations in this conflict. The city's position as a major corporate hub made it a valuable strategic target for both sides. Corporate offices, research facilities, and financial centers located in Night City represented significant economic assets. Control of the city could provide a major advantage in the broader corporate struggle. As the war intensified, operations in Night City became increasingly dangerous. Corporate agents carried out covert missions to sabotage enemy facilities, while heavily armed security teams guarded corporate compounds. The conflict reached its most devastating moment when a nuclear device detonated within Arasaka Tower. The explosion destroyed much of the building and caused massive destruction in the surrounding district. The blast left a large crater in the center of the city and killed thousands of people. This event became one of the most infamous moments in cyberpunk history. The exact details surrounding the detonation remain a topic of debate within the lore of the cyberpunk universe. Some accounts suggest that the device was planted during a covert operation aimed at weakening Arasaka's control over the city. Others believe the explosion was part of a larger strategy intended to end the war by forcing both sides to withdraw. Regardless of the exact cause, the destruction of Arasaka Tower effectively brought the Fourth Corporate War to an end. The aftermath of the war reshaped the balance of power among megacorporations. Governments around the world attempted to reassert control over corporate military operations in order to prevent similar conflicts in the future. New regulations were introduced to limit the size and activities of private corporate armies. However, enforcing these restrictions proved difficult. Megacorporations still possessed enormous resources and influence, allowing them to maintain significant military capabilities even under new regulations. In the years following the war, many corporations shifted their focus toward economic competition and technological development rather than open warfare. Nevertheless, the legacy of the corporate wars remains visible throughout the cyberpunk world. Cities damaged during the conflicts were rebuilt with stronger defenses and improved infrastructure designed to withstand future attacks. Corporate security divisions continued to evolve, incorporating lessons learned from previous battles. The wars also reinforced the reality that megacorporations had become some of the most powerful entities on the planet. Their ability to deploy armies, control technology, and influence global politics placed them in a position once reserved for national governments. Even though large-scale corporate wars have become less common, tensions between corporations still exist. Espionage, sabotage, and covert operations remain common tools used by companies competing for market dominance. Security teams remain vigilant, and corporate executives continue preparing contingency plans in case conflicts escalate again. The possibility of another corporate war always exists beneath the surface of the cyberpunk world. For residents of Night City, the corporate wars serve as a reminder of the immense power held by megacorporations. These conflicts demonstrated that corporate rivalries could reshape entire cities and alter the course of history. Even in times of relative peace, the influence of these corporations continues shaping the political and economic landscape of the world. Within towering skyscrapers and heavily guarded corporate compounds, executives and strategists constantly evaluate their competitors, aware that the next major conflict could emerge at any time. Modern life in Night City is defined by technology, created and controlled by megacorporations. Nearly every system that keeps the city functioning relies on equipment designed in corporate laboratories. From cybernetic implants and advanced weapon systems to automated infrastructure and communication networks, corporate technology forms the foundation of daily life. While individual citizens may interact with these systems casually, the corporations that develop them view technology as a powerful tool for maintaining influence and shaping the future. One of the most recognizable categories of corporate technology in the cyberpunk world is cyberware. Cyberware refers to mechanical or electronic implants designed to enhance the human body. These devices allow individuals to replace or augment biological functions with advanced mechanical systems. Over time, cyberware has become increasingly common in both civilian and military applications. Many residents of Night City possess at least some form of cybernetic augmentation. Basic implants may improve eyesight, hearing, or communication abilities. More advanced systems allow users to connect directly to digital networks, operate machinery through neural signals, or perform physical actions far beyond normal human capability. These technologies blur the boundary between human biology and machine engineering. Megacorporations invest heavily in developing new cyberware designs. Engineers and medical researchers work together to create implants that integrate safely with the human nervous system. Specialized processors translate neural signals into digital commands, allowing cyberware to respond instantly to the user's thoughts. This process requires extremely precise engineering. The human brain produces complex patterns of electrical activity, and cyberware systems must interpret those signals without disrupting natural brain function. Corporate laboratories spend years refining neural interface technologies to ensure reliable communication between biological and mechanical systems. Cyberware is used in many different professions. Corporate security forces often rely on combat implants that enhance strength, reflexes, and targeting accuracy. These enhancements allow soldiers to respond more quickly in dangerous situations and operate advanced weapon systems with greater precision. Other implants are designed for professional applications rather than combat. Technicians may use neural interface devices to operate complex machinery, while medical specialists rely on cybernetic tools that assist with delicate surgical procedures. Even corporate executives sometimes install cyberware designed to enhance memory or improve communication efficiency. Another important area of corporate technology involves smart weapons. Unlike traditional firearms, smart weapons contain advanced targeting systems that communicate directly with the user's cyberware. These weapons can adjust their trajectory slightly after being fired, allowing bullets to track moving targets. This capability dramatically increases accuracy during combat. Smart weapons rely on small guidance systems embedded within each round of ammunition. These systems communicate with targeting data transmitted from the user's neural interface or optical implants. When combined with cyberware enhancements, smart weapons allow soldiers to engage multiple targets with remarkable precision. Megacorporations continue developing new variations of this technology in an effort to maintain military advantages over competitors. Artificial intelligence represents another major area of corporate technological development. AI systems are used throughout Night City to manage infrastructure, analyze financial markets, and control automated machinery. These systems are capable of processing enormous amounts of data in a short period of time. In many corporate offices, AI programs assist employees by organizing information and performing complex calculations. Security systems also rely heavily on AI software. Surveillance cameras installed throughout corporate facilities transmit video feeds to monitoring systems that analyze movement patterns and identify potential threats. When suspicious activity is detected, the system can alert security personnel automatically. Some corporations even experiment with AI systems capable of making independent strategic decisions. These advanced programs can analyze large datasets and propose solutions to logistical or economic challenges. However, the development of powerful AI has also created concerns about security and control. In the cyberpunk universe, certain artificial intelligences have become so advanced that they operate beyond the direct control of their creators. To prevent these systems from interfering with global networks, powerful barriers known as the Black Wall were created to separate rogue AI programs from the rest of the digital world. Despite these precautions, corporations continue exploring ways to use artificial intelligence to improve efficiency and maintain technological superiority. Another essential component of corporate technology involves data networks. Information is one of the most valuable resources in the cyberpunk world, and corporations invest heavily in maintaining secure communication systems. Corporate networks transmit financial transactions, research data, security information, and logistical instructions across vast distances. These networks must remain stable, even under heavy digital traffic. Engineers design complex server infrastructures capable of handling millions of simultaneous connections. Data centers located within corporate facilities store enormous quantities of information while maintaining strict security protocols to prevent unauthorized access. Because corporate secrets often represent enormous economic value, Protecting these networks is a top priority. Encryption systems, firewall software, and intrusion detection programs are constantly updated to defend against cyber attacks. Corporate netrunners are responsible for monitoring digital environments and defending networks from hostile infiltration attempts. Another important area of technological development involves transportation systems. Vehicles operating within Night City rely on sophisticated navigation and control technologies. Many corporate vehicles include automated driving systems capable of adjusting routes based on traffic conditions and security concerns. Corporate aircraft, known as AVs, provide another example of advanced transportation technology. These flying vehicles are used to transport executives and corporate personnel between buildings or across the city. AVs are equipped with powerful engines, navigation computers, and defensive systems designed to protect passengers during flight. Because Night City's streets can be unpredictable, many executives prefer aerial transportation whenever possible. Automated infrastructure systems represent another critical category of corporate technology. Traffic lights, subway networks, and utility systems often rely on centralized computer systems that monitor conditions across the city. These systems adjust operations dynamically in response to changing circumstances. For example, traffic control programs can modify signal timing to reduce congestion during busy periods. Power distribution systems use automated sensors to detect fluctuations in energy demand and adjust supply accordingly. Corporate engineers maintain these systems to ensure that urban infrastructure continues operating smoothly. Despite the many benefits of corporate technology, these systems also reinforce the influence of megacorporations over daily life. The devices people rely on for communication, transportation, and medical treatment are often produced and controlled by corporate entities. This dependence gives corporations considerable power over the technological environment surrounding modern cities. Access to advanced technology often depends on one's relationship with corporate institutions. Employees working for megacorporations may receive access to cutting-edge cyberware and medical services, while individuals outside corporate structures must rely on independent vendors or underground technicians. This technological divide contributes to the complex social landscape of Night City. Some citizens live in highly advanced corporate districts filled with automated systems and digital services. Others survive in less developed areas where technology is older, less reliable, or obtained through unofficial channels. Even so, the influence of corporate technology continues expanding. Research laboratories constantly experiment with new devices designed to improve efficiency, enhance human capabilities, and increase corporate profits. Across countless laboratories, factories, and data centers, engineers and scientists continue refining the machines that define the cyberpunk world. From the smallest neural processor embedded in a cyberware implant to the massive data networks that connect entire cities, corporate technology shapes nearly every aspect of life in Night City. As these innovations continue evolving, the boundary between human experience and corporate technology grows increasingly difficult to separate, creating a future where machines and megacorporations remain deeply intertwined.